Hey, good evening. It's Tuesday evening, June 2nd. For many people, this is graduation time. I have some friends that graduated today, and graduation is significant for us. It marks one phase of life to another. The music that is playing in the background is written by George Winston, and it's entitled Graduation, because you can sense in the music he's anticipating that something is coming. And that's the big deal with graduates. We know something else is coming, we're just not real sure. And those that graduated today have that same feeling. Well, God gives us an insight on a couple of things that we can figure out about the way the world works that you're going to be walking into. Let me read to you a couple of lines from Genesis 12. He's speaking to Abram, and he says, I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. Now that's a pretty sweeping statement for him to make, but indeed, this is how human history has played out. You read history books, you get all kinds of different explanations about why. But there's one that makes sense because God is choosing to orchestrate history to bring about things that will honor his name. I write about this a little bit in my book on When Life Turns Upside Down, and this is from chapter 6, the beginning. It's called Perspective, and that's for our graduates. I want them to have perspective, God's perspective. God's purpose in history is to gather a people together who will follow him so that all the peoples of the earth will be blessed. This was the covenant promise God gave to Abram in Genesis 12:3 that we just read. It has sustained the people of God for the last 4,000 years. Indeed, God tells Abram that all the people of the earth will be blessed and protected through Abram. That this promise that describes how all of human history will unfold for the next 4,000 years is tucked away in a single line of Hebrew poetry is mind-blowing to us. As people who are both flawed and finite, we would expect that something this important should be told to us on every page of the Bible and reinforced by visions and daily prophecies and pronouncements. But God, who is infinite and without flaw, only has to state his intentions once, and it will happen whether we get it fully or not. God protects and blesses all mankind through the descendants of Abraham. This is reality. Once again, there is no support for this belief in our modern culture. This kind of thinking is said to be strange, medieval, or at best, archaic. But regardless of the popular consensus, this is reality. This is truth. All the milestone moments in history that have blessed and protected mankind were put in place either by the people of God directly or orchestrated by God to protect his people so that humans as a race will be protected and blessed. That is mind-blowing. When we reach this point in human history, if you read very much of history, you can see that anytime it looks like things could have just gone completely haywire and disastrous. And you wonder how we even got this far. Now, with things happening, and right now the particular focus is the unrest and the COVID, surely God's not in control of that. But yes, God is in control. He's shaping things with that. And for our graduates, to know that God has secured history and bringing about a singular purpose so that he could be known and he could be honored. And history fits into that perspective in a way that brings peace and stability. There's so much more that could be said, and I certainly don't have the time to say it tonight. But that is an anchor that all your graduates can hang on to, and the rest of us as well. That God is blessing the nations of the earth through his people so that we will be preserved. If we look back in the time tunnels of history, it's the only explanation that is satisfying. It gives us any comfort because it is indeed a chaotic history. Humankind is a chaotic history, but God is there. So that's the thought for you graduates. Hang on. God knows what he's about, and you can trust him. Rest well. And to those of you who are graduating, congratulations. Great job. Good night.